Good afternoon, folks. Yes, this is an unusual afternoon edition of the Video Call-In Show. By the way, the Video Call-In Show is that show that invites you to be a live guest, to be on this program to talk about whatever you'd like to talk about. Normally live, Sunday through Thursday, 10 p.m. Eastern. Today, however, I thought I had to go live after doing a bit more research. It's been a while since I've actually done this research. Something has come up since, and I thought you guys would be interested to hear and learn about it. By the way, I will be taking calls today. All you've got to do is point your browser to zoom.us, click on join a meeting, and enter in that meeting number. I will bring you up, first come, first serve. Be here for about an hour. Again, my name is Jim. I am the host of the Video Call-In Show, and I welcome everyone here. We'll give people a few minutes to climb on in, because this is such an unusual time for me to be alive. An unusual time for me to be live. And I'll brush over why I decided to go live here in just a minute. Suffice to say that this morning I had my my back appointment. We'll just do a little house cleaning while we wait for folks. Had a back appointment today. Told him that it wasn't working and that we needed to, he obviously said we need to go a different route. So what we're going to do is some diagnostic tests, squirt some more painkillers in me, find out where the pain is relieved, because the steroid shots, they really didn't take. And and I've been paying it ever since. Silly me, I was out raking the lawn yesterday, and that just wasn't very smart. But while I was at the doctor's office, because I check on occasion, I just finally decided to check some things. And what I found was very, very interesting. But let me say hello to who's here thus far. Brandon, 1998. How are you, my friend? Hazelite Siren, always good to see you in. Raven the Commentator, yes, very interesting time. I believe this is the first time that I've ever gone live at 3 p.m. in the afternoon. That's Eastern time, of course. And Explosive Phoenix discovered you from Chills TV yesterday since he shouted you out. Oh, that's cool. Thank you, Chills. I appreciate that. If you end up watching this later, thank you so much for being here, guys. Now, what I want to talk about today, I think you'll find extremely interesting. There's always talk about how we should optimize our content to show up favorably in the YouTube search engine, and by extension into the Google search engine. Now, most of you already know that that I've been doing this for a long time. In fact, I've been optimizing websites for the better part of 20 years. Yes, I know. I see you in there, Brandon. You are in the waiting room. Relax, bud. Let me get through with what I'm saying here, and then we'll bring you up. We'll bring you up. Now, I've been doing this for a very, very long time, and I check on this occasionally. Today, I found an extraordinary change in things. Hello to Family Homestead. I know. It's 3 p.m. I apologize. Well, to tell you the truth, to Family Homestead, what I was just saying was that I've discovered some things that I think everybody should know about search engine optimization as it exists today, and especially in our world. Now, and you guys can actually follow along with me, and I'm going to go ahead and get into this because this is going to be a probably its own video. But what I've done in essentially is, let me find it. Where's my shot at? I just had it a second ago. Here we go. Okay. So what I've found here is, and what I'm actually doing is, we've got the major search engines here, right? We've got Yahoo, we've got Bing, we've got Duckduckgo. And if you guys are not familiar with Duckduckgo, then you need to become familiar with DuckDuckGo. It does not track you like all the other search engines do. Then, of course, we have Google, which we all know is now a verb. Hey, Slide Siren, it's real easy. You don't even have to open Zoom. All you've got to do is, whoops, now I'm backwards. All you've got to do is visit zoom.us, click on join a meeting, and then enter in this meeting number right here, and then you can come on. It's all about being web based at that point. But we also have, of course, the YouTube search engine. Now we're all familiar with all of those search engines, of course, right? And here's the test that I normally do, because I have optimized for the term, heavily optimized for the term call in show. Now, I want you to know that I've never done this search on this particular PC. I always do it on one of my other laptops. And we're going to do it live and just check out some of the results, shall we? So if I type in, and you guys are watching this real time, call in show. All right. And we click search. Look at that. Number 2. Do you see that? And my video's up there. Right in the second result. Video call in show, YouTube. Okay, that's where I would expect it to see after doing all the optimization that I've done. Let's go to Bing, shall we? We'll do the same thing. You're watching this real time. Call in show. Boom. Look at that. Second entry. And look at all my videos, and you guys too. Look at those guest cuts in there. And then, of course, even in the second one, the Corey Holtzman, which I can't figure out for the life of me why his call-in show number 1 is always number 1 on the YouTube search engine. We'll get to that in just a second. But look at the exposure there. This is the direct result of your classic search engine optimization. Now let's go to DuckDuckGo. We will do the exact same thing. Now you should know that I come up number 1 for video call-in show, but that's only because nobody really searches for that. All right. Number 3. See that? Number 3 on DuckDuckGo. Okay. I don't know why. I don't even know if, no, my videos aren't showing up, but they're pulling straight from YouTube on that one. Whoops. Yeah, they're pulling straight up YouTube on that one. But the third search engine result is the video call show. Now, let's try Google, shall we? Call in show. No, I don't believe I show up in these either, because this is drawing it straight from YouTube. Not on the first page. Hello, Eagle VP. How are you? Good to see you here. And Studio Geek 32, Pixel Pia teaching and learning while we're waiting for this to reload. This is page 2. No. Page 3. Now, I won't bore you with this because I've already been to page 10 and I didn't find myself. It would be amazing if I suddenly showed up. But now we're going to page 4. Still nothing. Still nothing. Still nothing. Still nothing. Who else did I just see here a minute ago? Welcome to the show, guys. I'm actually surprised that you showed in, but nothing. There's Dave Ramsey. Dave Ramsey has millions of subscribers. You see him here? And he's even down on the bottom of page 5, which is no man's land. The school of thought is that 64% of the search engine users don't go beyond the first page. And then 90% of those don't go beyond the third page. So this is, for all intents and purposes, no man's land. Absolute no man's land. Well, believe me, I don't show up in the first 10 pages. Now let's try it on the venerable YouTube call-in show. Wouldn't there be egg on my face if it showed up? Well, it's not going to show up. There's that Corey Holtzman that I showed you before. It's been up there since it streamed a year ago. Now it's only got 5K views. There are so many more. I don't know why Putin is suddenly. Well, it must have been a rush on Putin information. But he's suddenly number 3, which hasn't been. He's usually down below the fold a considerable amount. There's this one, which is a fantastic, funny show. If you ever watch this the pre-taped call-in show, it is hilarious. But then there are pranks. It goes on. It goes on. It goes on. There are several of these have, there's 60,000 views. Some of them are much less than mine on average. Yeah. If you want me to scroll down till the 200th, you'll see that that's where my channel first shows up. Now, what does this mean exactly? What does this mean? Well, it means a couple of things. One, it means either. Well, let's put it into two categories. Either these search engines are broke. They're working on the same platforms, or at least they share some of their technology, both YouTube and Google, since they are under one umbrella. 52 views. 3 years ago, 52 views shows up before me. There are plenty of examples in there, and this isn't a poor pitiful me. This is literally an illustration of what has been done and what should be done. But anyway, getting back to what I was talking about, it's one of two things. One, either these are so biased to that 40 page list of no say words, which I refuse to kowtow to, or they're just broken. They're just absolutely broken. Now, I've been optimizing sites for Google forever, and I have had much success gaining access to the front page using those keyword phrases that people are actually searching for. So the highly sought after keyword phrases, never single keywords. That's never a good idea, but keyword phrases. Did I miss it? It probably was up there a second ago. I'd already scrolled 100. There I am. Okay. But here, that's how far down the fold I am. And if you count them, it's got to be more than 100. I've done it several times. I've been doing it for the last 10 months. It never seems to jump up. So my theory is that I have used several of those terms on that 40-page list, and there is pushback on that. It is what it is. But like I said, I simply refuse to adjust the English language to such a point where I self-censor common phrases. I just won't do it. I just absolutely won't do it. Obviously, or I shouldn't say obviously, because not knowing or what's actually working behind the scenes, they'll never let us know. As soon as they let us know exactly how it works behind the scenes, then it's ripe for exploitation, and that's exactly why they don't do it. But knowing what we know, I can only surmise that it's because I have dipped into those lists, and of course, you know that I've produced videos that is as critical. Exactly, Gaffa. That's who I was looking for. How you doing, Gaffa? Good to see you. Yeah. In fact, you might have come in late, but there I am on Yahoo. I'm literally second organically on Yahoo. On Bing, I'm second. Duckduckgo, I'm third. And this is why I'm so unbelievably critical of YouTube and Google, is because I am optimized for this term to an extraordinary degree. And I think you guys would all agree to that. It shows in the other search engines. That's how search engines used to work. They used to take and analyze your content based on relevancy, and they would index it accordingly. Now that's not happening on YouTube and Google. So you've got to know that going into it. If you're going to update or to optimize your site, you've got to be cognizant of that. Now, that's not to say, forget about keyword phrases that are relevant to your content. I would say absolutely research those keyword phrases that are relevant to your content and use those in your titles, your descriptions, and if you so desire, tags. Now, I don't buy tags at all. And the reason for that is because that they're they're too easily manipulated and spammed. So I don't do that. Oh, if you change it to video call and show, I'm number one, even on Google and Yahoo. I'm sorry, Yahoo, YouTube. I'm sure. Let's try that for a moment. I should be, because no one else is optimized for video call and show. I'm not on Google. What do you make of that? I know that on YouTube I am. But you see, I specifically optimized for call and show because that's where the audience is. That is my audience. You guys who call into me couldn't care less whether it's video or audio. And I've had several audio guests on the show. So I specifically targeted call in show because that's the term being used in most search engines. Oh, I'm sure of it, Explosive Phoenix. I am absolutely positive that that bias has gotten involved. I don't know if it's directly related to my results, and I'm only using this anecdotal evidence because I've been monitoring this for better than a year. I'm sorry, for almost a year, and it just screams a problem. Just absolutely screams a problem. And I don't need to look live now. And as a matter of fact, on YouTube, which is extraordinary that they even picked that up. But I thought you guys would find that interesting, especially with the results on the other three big search engines, which speaks volumes. Now, the trouble here is that Google is now a verb. So too is YouTube to a certain extent. And what that means is that it is the 800-pound gorilla. Everyone is doing their searches on Google for the most part. In fact, I think their market share is still well above 80. That's a problem for a lot of us, especially when they're filtering content, at least their AI and some of there are plenty of videos on there or on YouTube about how some of this content is being filtered. That's a huge problem. A huge problem. So having said that, let me go ahead and this will be a unique because I'm on a green screen, as you can tell, honestly blue, but well, we'll bring up a couple guests here just real quick. It's going to be a pretty quick show, but we'll see what we can do. Let's see.
Let me mute YouTube.
Yeah, yep. Do that.
There we go.
All right. Let me fix my interface here, Brandon. This it's not something that I'd planned on. Okay, give me just a second here. I'll probably just have a black background, and that'd be fine. Oh, so how does the well? I don't know what time is it where you're at?
It is 20.18.
Oh yeah. Okay. All right, there we go. And let me call up your name here.
Even with Google Images, you can get your thumbnails shown on there. If you search your title of your YouTube video, it shows up.
Oh well, of course, yeah. That's a given. The point behind search engine optimization, and
even with Facebook pictures.
I can't find your name for some reason. I thought for sure I had it in there. I'll type it in. But yeah, even I mean that should be expected. If someone searches for your specific title, which is nearly an impossibility for most people to guess, then, or at least those people, see, the whole idea behind search engine optimization, Brandon, is to get in front of those people who are looking for the content that you may have created or the web property that meets their needs. So they're very rarely going to type in an exact title for that, like a web page or a video or anything like that. So the idea is to optimize for certain keyword phrases that are relevant to that content, show up in the search engine results, and then people find you, and hopefully their needs are met. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
Let me type in your name, Brandon.
Yeah. I don't know who's just subscribed to me, like someone with an eagle profile picture.
Probably
If
Eagle
you,
VP.
just to let you know, this channel that I'm commenting on is my personal channel, but let me say hi with my actual channel I actually upload on, please.
Sure. So what do you know, if anything, about search engine optimization, Brandon? And have you ever tried to do any of that?
Not really. In the past, when I was like searching for like my name, my original YouTube name, Brandon and George, when I typed that in, it found like most of my thumbnails.
Yeah, yeah, that's cool. That's cool. It's a name is a tough one to crack. If and it's Jackson, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
If I do a search on YouTube for Brandon Jackson,
Yeah.
it comes up, and if I'd had a little bit more time, I would have done that. Yeah, I'm not
Just to
seeing.
let you know, guys, on YouTube, the actual person in chat called Brandon Jackson saying, "Hi, it's me." That's my actual channel I subscribe on. So don't subscribe to Brandon 1998.
What did you do on accident, Chili Man? Welcome to the show, by the way. Um, I'm looking for his post. Or I don't see it. Hello, everyone. Hello, Chili Man. Welcome to the show. I don't see what he did by accident. Anyway, go ahead. What were you saying?
I was just saying to people about don't subscribe to Brandon 1998. That's my personal channel. I do not upload on that channel.
Oh, I see. I see.
I only use it to comment to my favorite YouTubers, watch my favorite YouTubers, and subscribe to my favorite YouTubers. That's it. I don't upload on it.
Well, you should actually use whatever channel you want to promote, and this is good for everyone out there. Whatever channel it is you want to promote, use
Thank
that
you.
as what you subscribe to people with, what you comment on videos, and even those videos you like. And I'll tell you why. If you look at the Yahoo, Jesus criminy, if you look at the YouTube recommended page, your homepage, you'll find a whole lot of blocks there. It's like people who, or no, videos liked by a certain creator also like this. You know what I mean? So you get some traction from that as well. I don't know how much on my analytics, but it says a whole bunch about um, liked videos have also garnered me traffic. So think about that.
Yeah.
I always surf as video calling show. Whenever I'm on YouTube, I'm video calling show. I'm commenting as video calling show. I'm liking videos. I'm watching videos as video calling show, because that does filter down to other people's homepage, and you will get traffic for it.
Well,
So,
do you think it's best to, anytime when I come on the live stream, shall I just, comment with my main account?
oh, you talking about on my show?
Yeah.
Yeah, whatever,
But
whatever.
people
Yeah,
won't
because
get confused and accidentally subscribe to the wrong channel.
exactly, because
Yeah.
people that come on here, even though this is not a networking
Got two
stream,
new
this is. Hang
subscribers.
on,
Thank you.
hang on, we'll get to that. This isn't a networking stream. This isn't certainly isn't a sub for sub. You're ruining
I know.
your
I know.
chances. I'm telling everybody, not just you, bud. But
Like I
people
always say,
will. But people
her
will.
choice.
Hang on. But people will look at the folks in the chat. Go visit their channel and see if they like it. If you're posting with your other account, then they won't be able to see the real one, right?
Yeah.
That's when you
Yeah.
go. Sorry, I had to get that
I'm
thought out.
just like I like listening to you and like keeping an eye on the chat at the same time. Like, I just followed you on your channel.
Yes, that was Eagle VP. Yep. Yes, it is, Tony. It is live. I decided to go through some search engine results to give people a look-see into where things have gone.
Like the best thing really, like I got my last channel terminated from just putting, you know, like sub for sub kind of thing, like putting your
hmm
channel link.
Yeah,
For the love of God, do not do that, otherwise you'll lose your channel.
yeah. Lesson learned, right?
Yep.
Well, there you go, folks. That is a real world example that you shouldn't follow, and it's a good lesson to learn, Brandon. I'm glad you did.
Mhm.
But
I don't
now it's
mind. I send you. Hold on. Send you the things I got from the thing.
I
Don't
don't
mind
have
just showing up.
yeah, I don't have anything else open right now, so I won't be able to look at it. But
Well, you can have a look later.
yeah, yeah, I will. So did you what did you think of those search results, Brandon?
Pretty good. Like you've like almost to the top of the list on some of them. But like the best thing really to like if it's your account, you should be the one that sees at the top. But for the public, they see the correct amount.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So you don't have to like go through a million pages to find yourself.
Yeah, because people won't find you. They literally won't find you. Did you hear the stats that I threw out? There's 64% of search engine users do not go past the first page, and then 90% of those don't go past the third page. If you're not on the top three pages in a search engine result, then you're in no man's land. You are just literally not going to see much, if any, traffic from those.
Mm-hmm.
Now, unfortunately,
Can't remember the exact YouTuber I watched, but he said if you put your title of your YouTube video as a tag in the tags, you get more views that way. And
well,
then
people people
I
been talking.
always do the minimum 4 tags,
Yeah,
title, and then just three representing to that video.
people are talking about tags all the time. vidIQ did a fantastic video and they tested out whether or not tags changed anything in the search engine results, and they changed nothing. Nothing.
I don't, pretty much sure about that. I just do the minimum four. Any more than four is just ridiculous, and then you just have to remember
Yeah,
what's the next video, what's the next amount of tags to add to that video.
right.
Just do four minimum to the video. But I do number one, the first one, the title of the video, and then the other three to be representing the video.
Uh, two family, yeah, and that's fine. And I don't bemoan anyone using tags. I mean, go right ahead if you feel like
Your
you.
choice.
What's that?
You can it's your choice, guys, with it. You can
It's absolutely your
experiment with
choice.
it.
I don't see much value in it. I don't put any time into my tags at all. It's a standard, I've got a standard block of tags that I use, many of which have video call in show and call in show in them, which is entirely relevant to my show. It hasn't changed anything from a Google or a YouTube standpoint. Like I said, vidIQ did a test where they injected a phrase that was, it was literally gibberish, and they tested it. It showed up if it were in the title or in the description, but when you added it to tags, it did zero, zero. Did not change the search engine results at all. And the thing about tags, if you'll allow me to rant once again, is that they are going in the way of meta keywords. And the meta keywords started out as a great idea. They allowed you to consolidate your keywords into a code only tag that's only search engine would read. But unfortunately, people started abusing that, and they would put in any tag or any keywords that they thought would get them views, whether it was relevant or not. So what happened was the W3C consortium said, all right, we need to depreciate the keyword tags because people are spamming it like crazy. Tags are the same way. You can go to just about, well, in I would say 3 out of 5 videos that you actually visit and you look at their tags, you'll see a certain amount of spam where they're just trying to throw something in there to get views. And YouTube themselves have said that they don't put as much emphasis on tags as they used to. So I don't bother with them at all. No, I didn't. I haven't said anything about what to do to rank on Google and YouTube just yet. that was asked by Two Family Homestead and Pixelpia Teaching and Learning. But I will here in a moment.
Are you gonna allow more than just me in here?
Yeah, Sammy's in the wings, so I'm going to move on to Sammy if you don't mind, bud. Do you have anything else that you want to comment on?
Not really.
All right. Well, thanks for coming on, bud. I appreciate it, and
Yeah.
keep going where you're going, but make sure that you add relevant keywords to your titles and descriptions and tags if you so desire. All right. Just nothing spammy.
Nope.
All right. Cool. All right. Thanks, Brandon.
Bye.
Bye-bye. All right. Let me do this. Yeah, stay to the end of the show, folks, and I'll tell you my thoughts on the best way to, for lack of a better term, the best way to combat this. Sammy, can you hear me?
Yes.
How you doing, bud?
Good.
No camera today?
No.
That's okay. I'll talk to the screen.
Okay.
Which is fine because I haven't set up my green screen for my 2-shot just yet, which is why I was on a black background.
Yeah.
This was a spur of moment type thing. So how are you doing? How are you doing, Sammy?
Great.
Good.
So you were talking about keywords and all that stuff.
Yes.
Whenever I type my name into anything, it comes up with everything. So first, I'm not even joking, on Google, when I search Studio Geek 32, it comes and it gives you my video.
Sure.
And not even my YouTube channel.
Mm-hmm.
Then after that, there's some old videos of mine. Then there's some of the then later there's some pictures of me. Then all of my social medias. That's amazing.
Mm-hmm. You want to know why that is?
Because I have been on YouTube longer, maybe.
No, a little bit of that, but the other thing is that your name is so unique. It's not a word in the English language, and no one else is using it. You command that space, and there's nothing wrong with that, of course. But that is 9 times out of 10. Anytime you have some sort of unique phrase that in fact, there used to be a term for finding a 2 to 3 term phrase that returned 0 results. Somebody, if you guys in the chat remember what that is, let me know because I just can't come up with it off the top of my head. But your name, the name of your channel, is so unique that doesn't surprise me at all that you're right up top.
That's good.
It is good. It is good. The true test would be finding a keyword phrase in your niche and seeing where you come up with that on that term. That is the real, because that's see, people would have to know Studio Geek 32 exists to even put that in a search engine. But if they're, remember you were doing some OBS tutorials.
Yeah.
If you typed in OBS tutorials, chances are there are so many out there that you would be buried beneath them, because that's just the way it happens.
But then I stopped using OBS.
That's okay. I was only using it as an example, but
yeah, yeah. But
you get what I'm saying, though, right?
Yes.
Okay.
And a lot of people know me.
Yes.
So it's like, that's amazing. So because when I first started my channel in 2015, so I have videos going back from 2015 that are very bad. I unlisted maybe like 100 of them.
Mm-hmm.
They were so bad. Now they are better. 10 times better.
Dude, that happens to all of us.
And the crazy part was when you typed in Studio Geek 32, there was another channel over me.
Yeah, that is
and
not
it was
unusual.
called Studio Geek.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And then I think after that,
I went over, and then I became #1 result.
Yeah, yeah, and that'll be due to popularity, longevity, all sorts of factors for sure, for sure.
Yes.
So, what are your views on tags, Sammy? Do you put much stock in them?
I like tags because whenever I'm doing like a parody or something, that helps me. Do you know why?
Why?
Because if it's a famous song, I can do so and so, and then I get the views. Or
Are
if
you
I do a drum cover and it's very famous, I get the views.
Have you done any testing on that? Like, for instance,
Yes,
you put the song title in your video title. See how that
I
works. Put
always
the
do that. I always do that, and it
well,
get
what I mean is, are you running any tests on that? In other words, you allow it to sit out there for like a month with just the song title in your video title. See how that does. Then move it to the description and don't have it in your title or tags. Then move it to your tags and don't have it in your title or description. If you ran that for like 3 months, then you would have a good um, at
yeah,
least it's a very small scale, but at least you'd have something to go on there. Um, I would bet the farm that that title is going to be your best, description would be second, and tags would do 0.
yeah. But on all of my tags, I put Studio D32.
Oh,
So
sure,
then,
sure.
so more people can find me, and then I'm top of the search, and that's crazy.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Because sometimes I have videos that have no tags and still get normal views.
Sure, sure. And that's kind of what I was saying. Um, in fact, the example that I was using before was this vidIQ.
Yes, I use
Um,
vidIQ too, buddy.
yeah, that and the myth busting one. This is where they were talking about tags do not have as much weight as they used to. Another guy said they don't from YouTube, and he was an Asian dude, but I don't remember what his name was off the top of my head. Oh, let me say hello to a few folks. Hello, Chili Man. Hello, Mo Homesteading. How are you? Who else did I see here a minute ago? Andrew Frying Pan. Good to see you, my friend. Good to see you. Drone Kings and Darwin. How are you? Sorry, I woke you up. Awesome Epic Adventures. Welcome to the show again. This was a quick video based on my most recent research, something that I've been doing for quite a while. And right now we've got Sammy on the line. Um, Sammy, this is going to be a kind of a quick show. Was there anything else you
Yes,
want to talk about as far as that was concerned?
I think I'm good.
Awesome.
Because
Well,
I'm gonna maybe jump on later.
okay, that's fine. Yeah, we'll still be on tonight at 10 p.m. For the rest of you, Steve Carpenter, how are you? Well, thanks, Sammy, for being on, man, and we'll catch you tonight then.
Bye.
All right, bud. See ya. Okay, so many of you have been. Let me go over this really fast with you guys again because some of you came in late. What I was doing was I was testing again, like I always do. This is what I've been doing for the better part of 20 years, and I wanted to find out if my optimization efforts were working or in vain. Which anyone who's been doing optimizing for a while will do that on a regular basis. I've been doing this ever since I started the channel for one particular phrase, and I know this sounds like beating a dead horse, but I've been doing this for a reason. I optimized my channel and my videos specifically for the phrase call in show. And I've been trying to crack the top 200 on the YouTube search engine forever. I have yet to do it for that particular phrase or Google. So no, don't jump back on Brandon. I'm going to close out the show. Hello, Adam. How you doing, man? That's Adam from Crap My Dad Makes Me Watch. Just a really quick show here. At any rate, so what I did was I did the search for call-in show on Yahoo, and there I am, number 2. I did the same search on Bing. There I am with a ton of mine and your videos, number 2. I did it on Duckduckgo. There I am, number 3. And this is all for the call-in show, no hyphen. Hyphen doesn't change much. There I am, number 3. I do it on Google, and we're sitting on page 5 here, which we didn't find. No, that's page 1. But that's video call-in show. If I do a search on Google for call-in show, I'm nowhere to be found. Nowhere to be found. None of the videos, as you can see. Oh, better bring that up a little bit, because on YouTube, I'm down below the 200 mark at last check. So we do a search on call-in show, and you can scroll and scroll and scroll, and I don't show up until about 200. But that's for the phrase call-in show, which I'm heavily optimized for. Now, what does that mean exactly? Again, it's one of two things. Either the search engine, Google and YouTube, are broken, or they're heavily biased. And we can go back to that 40-page list of words that will get you demonetized, which I say all the time, and I simply refuse to alter my language. Now, you guys don't have to. If your goal is to rise up in the search engine results on YouTube and Google, that's fine. You guys go right ahead. I come on here to speak freely. I come on here to have a good time and to say what I want to say. But it is, of course, at my own expense. I understand that. Yes, Gaffa Haynes, you're absolutely right. I am a Duckduckgo guy. They don't track you. That I think is extraordinarily important, and I use it all the time. So, but even Duckduckgo. So yes, that's great, and it is about AdWords and PPC, but when you're talking about organic results, these results, this is the School of Hard Knocks results. They garner well over 80% of traffic. Ads are great. There's no problem with ads. I manage ads for several clients. You can't ignore the 800-pound gorilla and the audience that comes along with that. But what's not happening the way it used to, I'll say, is that they're not grading content the way they used to. And I get where they're coming from with popularity. I also, their quality scores involved. There's a whole host of things that they've moved into it, but there's also that 40-page list and practices like that are hanging out there. So it was asked earlier, and I'm going to close out the show with this. It was asked earlier, what do you do in the face of this? Well, I would say use your best judgment. Make sure that for every video, if you so choose, quiet, Champworks Garage. We are not talking about the 2021 Bronco yet. Although I can't wait to see it. If your goal is to be at the top of the YouTube search engine results, by all means, do your keyword research, even if it's so simple as using what you would type in. Let's say, for instance, you were doing a show on, I don't know. Well, okay, here's a good example. We'll just do the 2020 Bronco. So it's going to be about Ford Bronco, and you can see that all of these have been searched. That's what happens on this drop down. All these individual terms, and there are many more ways of doing it. What is it? That Morning Star or something. But I like to open up a Google AdWords account, Google Ads now, and I like to use their keyword tool because they do give you data straight from the horse's mouth, even though it's not everything that that is going on behind the scenes. They can't do that because then it becomes too easy to manipulate. But they do give you a good amount of traffic expectations for certain keyword phrases. So if you're going to do a video on Ford Broncos, for instance, you look at those and you use those keyword phrases. If it's relevant to your content, I would say continue to do that. If you really are oh, hang on just a second. Oh, on Bing search, yes. Like I said, Adam, I went through Yahoo, Bing, DuckDuckGo, Google, and YouTube. Where was I? Oh, yes. If you really are adamant about working that search engine, by all means, don't use the 40 word or the 40 page words you're not supposed to use on YouTube. That is entirely your prerogative. It's I don't have any problem with people wanting to do that sort of thing. I just don't want to do it myself. But that is actually, hello, Susan. Did I not say hello to Susan or Ms. Kathy? Hello, folks. So yeah, if that is your goal, then play the game, because it is a game. It's their playing field. Play that playing field if you are so inclined. There's really nothing wrong with that. And Steve, you're right. Being conservative will hurt you as well. There's no question that I've made mention. And look, if I were monetized, this would probably get me. I've mentioned guns, the Second Amendment, all of those things. If you're not watching your P's and Q's, I'm certain will get you. Will I don't want to say shadow ban, but it will certainly hurt you in the search engine results. If that's not your goal, then don't use them. That's all I can say. So yeah, and hard work does pay off. It really does. I went into this knowing I was going to optimize for that term, and to see it come to fruition in at least 3 other major search engines, even though a lot of them share information, was vindication, honestly. And that's why I decided to use my case as the case study here. I know it's anecdotal. I know it's a very small sample size, but it's one that I have complete control over as far as the way the content's put together. So it gives you a good idea. I hope that helps, guys. I absolutely hope that helps. Hey, Stacking Stormtrooper, how you doing, Stormy? That's cool, man. I'm getting ready to shut her down. This was just a quick one because I'd compiled all these together and I wanted to get that out and let you guys take a look at it. I wanted you to make your own determinations, and I really, really want you guys to succeed. So yeah, titles, unbelievably important. Make sure that you've got keyword phrases in there that people are using to find content relevant to yours. Titles, number 2. Make sure that your titles are well written and have enough keyword phrases that are relevant to your content to get picked up by Google and YouTube and even the others as well. Tags, I don't put much stock in. Hello, Shauna Marie Penny. Haven't, because I know what happened to the meta keyword tag in websites. Tags are going the same way. Tags are way too easily corrupted. If you do those two and make great thumbnails and great content, you're going to be just fine. Funny. I hope that helps. I really hope that helps, and I hope you all learned something. Don't forget to join us tonight. The reason I decided to go on live, by the way, this afternoon was because I didn't really want to encroach on the show tonight. As you know, we're going to talk about whether or not you play well with others, or how you you think you're perceived, and what I didn't want to do is want to come off as an ass because I would have been perceived as such. This is something that I'm very passionate about. It's something that I've been doing for so long, and to see it, from my perspective, to see people struggle when their content is entirely relevant to specific keyword phrases. It hurts me to the core. I mean, it's really something that I can't stand to see happen. So I don't want to see happen to any of you. So if you concentrate on your titles and your descriptions, and to a certain amount tags, and your content and thumbnails, which I know everybody says, and avoid, if you must, the 40-page of demonetized phrases, because I have to imagine that has infiltrated Google as well, since the results are very, very similar. If you do those, I think you'll be all right. It's a marathon. It's not a sprint. Don't expect results overnight, although we all know it does happen. More power to them. Mo Homesteading. Well, fantastic, Mo Homesteading. I hope you do. And I hope you come on one of our nightly shows or one-on-one shows, so we can, you can talk about the subject, because I usually have a different subject for every evening. If not that, then by all means, talk about whatever you want to. We can just shout out your channel if you'd like. That's part of this format. You guys get to come on, video call in, and talk about whatever you want to talk about. So I'm going to call it a night, guys. Appreciate you all being here. I hope it was informative, if nothing else. I'm always open to questions. If you guys want to come on the show and ask me questions about this sort of thing, I am always open to that. I love helping people out. If you'd like to join my Subscribe subscription, I even have private consultations that will go over some of these items. Tell you how I got on top of the first 3 search engines. But other than that, we just have a lot of fun. Make sure, if this is your first time here, that you do hit that subscribe button, or you follow if you're on one of the other platforms. And by all means, share this out. I'll end up cutting out the head of this and probably creating its own video, so that we can have it condensed and people can see it. So beyond that, though, make sure that you treat others the way you want to be treated. If we all did that, this world would be a fantastic place. Thanks again, everyone, for joining us this odd afternoon show. We'll see you live.